name is HAB Seneviratne and welcome to Heal Life. I'm here today with Graham Gall, who's a filmmaker, actor, director and musician in Australia, and we're talking about following your passion. Graham?
My passion?
Your passion.
I have lots of passion, because my wife often complains.
And how did you get started in acting and film?
Well, they're actually two different pathways in a way. Acting, I guess, I've been acting basically since I was born.
Okay.
My parents were in amateur theatricals all their lives, and ended up actually as professional extras in Sydney. So when I was born, they actually met through the Sydney Players Club in Sydney, which was a place where a lot of early actors got started. People like Chips Rafferty and some of those early guys. And my grandfather also was an actor in Sydney, Frank Jarbo. So basically, when I was born, they were doing theatre in everywhere we lived, in Burrell, in Dubbo, down the south coast, in Nowra. In fact, Dad started the Nowra Players Club. So virtually since I was a little tot, they would put me in plays, they would put me in musicals.
So you were
I was on stage basically from the cradle.
Okay, okay,
and then that went into obviously the usual school stuff, school plays and school musicals, until such time as I left home and then to go to university, and I actually ventured off into music and didn't act for many years, and I've only come back to it in recent times.
So did that, having that, I guess the parents kind of involved in acting,
yes,
did that push you away from it at all? Do you think?
Absolutely not. It inspired me, and I've always had a passion for it, and I think that comes from the exposure at childhood. Once I'm on stage, I just go into a different world, and I love it.
Okay.
But they didn't do film acting, screen acting. They did stage acting.
And it's slightly different technique you'd use on, or maybe.
Well, they are different. Yes, that's right. Particularly the use of the voice in particular, and also things are much bigger on stage. With screen, you have to be very small and very subtle. In general terms.
And your passion for music, did you follow that through after?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I picked up the guitar when I was about 14, and just loved it. And I was inspired by the Beatles. Actually, the Beatles were the thing that made me. When I first heard "She Loves You" and I saw her standing there and those sorts of tunes, I thought, I need to play this sort of music.
Yeah.
And so I picked up a guitar and taught myself, and from then on in, by the time I was 18, I was playing in bands, and I've been playing in bands ever since. So I've been playing professionally and semi-professionally for 40 years.
Do you, so other than the Beatles, are there any other artists that you
Many.
look up to? Is there any that you'd like to mention?
Elvis Presley was a big inspiration, and I've actually done quite a lot of Elvis, played guitar in Elvis in tribute shows, those sort of things. In terms of more modern music, more modern for me, the Doobie Brothers and the Eagles were the two bands, if you like, that inspired me in terms of bands. They were the two big ones.
So you'd play their music just because you loved it?
I loved their music, but also in particular the guitarists in those bands inspired me to stretch myself and learn different things. Santana was another one that had a huge influence, and Eric Clapton. They're the main ones.
Graham, if you had to sum up success, what would that be to you?
Success for me? Look, it's not about money or fame. Success for me is about, if I get an idea that I want to bring to fruition, I plan it, I prepare for it, I then implement it, and if the product or the service or the activity that I've undertaken gives me a feeling of complete satisfaction and happiness, then to me that's success.
And so if
sorry, and I should add to that, if other people get inspiration and get enjoyment fulfilment from something that I've produced, then that adds to my feeling of success.
So you do
So it's
think,
not just for me, it's also for other people.
so you do think there is a flow-on effect from what you do?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There has to be. I mean, if you do everything for yourself, it's obviously selfish, isn't it? It's all about, that's part of it, is making, is being satisfied with what you do for your own benefit. But if at the same time you benefit other people and they get something for what you're doing, then to me that's the ultimate success.
So, working with music, film, acting, directing, what motivates you when you get up in the morning? What is it that gets you going?
I would say the creative process. I love all. If you take filmmaking for example, I love every part of the process. So I love the editing, I love the filming, I love getting into the technical details of the camera and lighting and camera movement and props, and I love every aspect of filmmaking. So I get just as much satisfaction out of the process as I do with the end product. So sometimes you'll shoot something and it ends up being something that you don't use, but I still have enjoyed the process. So what gets me up in the morning is the idea that I have projects to undertake and that I'm going to engage in a creative process, whether it be writing a script or editing a piece of footage or shooting something. In the music scene it might be learning a new song, and then it might be, oh, I've got a gig tonight, I'll look forward to that. That gets me up in the morning. Tonight I'm going to go and perform a gig in a club or at a wedding or whatever it might be.
So the anticipation of doing that.
The anticipation of doing something creative that will have a product or an outcome.